I'm Heather Dugan with Zoom Into Books, and I am at the American Library Association Conference, annual conference in Chicago, which is a great place to have a conference. Really great year here. And I am sitting with, I want to say author, but I also want to say musician, Joe Coleman. A lot of older fans will remember perhaps the Platters, etc., but you're still singing. I mean, I've seen you. You still like really knock them out.
Well, thank you.
But and there's, I see you've got this book, My Time to Shine, that talks about that whole part of your life. But you're writing children's books now.
Yes, I think what an exciting time for me. I have to put it that way. I never thought I would do such a thing, but once I got into it, I'm so excited about the book, The DanSing Pancakes, Healthy Choices. Yeah.
I like this. Yeah, my DanSing Pancakes, and I gotta say the imagery is great. So, Healthy Choices. Tell me, and a musical story. I'm seeing that. So, explain how that all came about.
Well, I was in Los Angeles, and a gentleman walked up to me. I was at an event, and walked up to me and he said, "I understand you're a songwriter." And I said, "Well, yes, I am." He said, "Well, we have a concept for a book called The DanSing Pancakes." A gentleman by the name of Philip Auerbach, to be exact, and his friend Rick Vitaco were, trying to promote this book. And so I said, "Well, send me a manuscript of it," and they did, in fact, do such, and I read it. And I thought it needed, I rewrote the book. That's essentially.
Put the Joe Coleman spin on it.
Yeah, I wrote it in rhyme for a younger audience, for kids 4 to 7, to talk about not drinking, not smoking, not doing drugs and things like that.
Okay, so making good choices for healthy living, which makes sense.
Yes.
Something we all need to do, but we need to know why. And we need to, this is great. I'm looking through it. It was a very fun book. I wish that I could show all the pages here, but it's interactive.
Yes, it is. Yeah, on page 19, I have a QR code because I did write the song that you asked me about, and the pancake song. And so the QR code brings up the song, "Flat as a pancake, wide as the ocean, cute as a button, like poetry in motion," like that.
I love it. Yeah, I'm thinking any audience would like that.
Yeah,
you're good, but it definitely fits. Boy, that is really an interesting turn. It's fun, probably.
Yes.
You've experienced a lot of life now. It's fun to be putting some things back for the younger generation. To give, because we want to impart what we've learned.
That's exactly.
And this is a way for you to do that. I love it. And you've got more coming, right?
That's right.
Tell me.
More to come. I'm working on a story about a young black girl who's dealing with issues around her hair and her look and all that kind of stuff, and trying to find out who she is, and be comfortable in this world. So I'm kind of working on that, but all of this comes out of my experience as a musician, as my time with the Platters, and which brings us to My Time to Shine, right? With the book about 3 old friends, 3 young guys who have known each other all our lives and managed to end up with 3 of the most iconic groups in music history, which is a story within itself. So that's what I do.
People are so fascinated by that. Because it's Temptations, Platters, and Drifters. And we might have time in a moment. I want to ask a little more about the second children's book you're writing, but I want to come back to that because I think people would love to hear a little more about that. So I love that about, because young kids' identity struggle with it, and confidence. And I talked with a young author earlier today about bullying, and so much of that comes down to not maybe having the tools to handle the situation because the confidence isn't there in the beginning. And you're talking about, I've got curly hair, but I am not black. I don't know what that experience is like, and I know it's a thing for black women, and for you to bring it out in a story and normalize the feelings, and then we need that context that others feel that way too. That it's who they are. It's a good thing.
That's right. And I have a daughter. She's grown. But I know the experiences that she went through. Sometimes with the schools that we put her in, she sometimes was the only black girl in class, so they were fascinated with her hair and always wanted to touch it and blah blah blah. Yes, and when she tried to wear cornrows, as they call it, you know, she got a lot of stares and sometimes was approached about changing hairstyle. Well, can you just wear your hair naturally? Is it not? You know, so there's a lot in that story. It's a lot of pressure.
Within the already pressure-filled young middle age, middle school ages and all that. Yeah, I'm just thinking as you're talking about touching, that's like women when they're pregnant don't like strangers walking up and touching their stomach. That's not any different.
That's right. It's akin to that. You're totally right. That's right. That's
so are you at all thinking about writing something for young men, for young boys?
Well, you know, I haven't figured out how to write something about young boys because I'm still a young boy at heart myself.
This is true. I was just talking to your sister about that.
I'm still at it, but I work. But I work with a lot of young boys, young men, because it's we're in a place where they're trying to figure out how to fit in a different kind of way. You know, black men are kind of, I hate to say it, targeted in a way, and these young men are just trying to figure out how to fit in, how to make it work, how to be the best selves. And sometimes it's hard.
Well, it is go ahead.
When you feel like you're in the spotlight and that the people are watching, looking at you in a different way, it's that much harder to put your forth best because you just, in fact, young black men seem to shrink back, trying not to be so noticed.
There's a defensiveness that shouldn't have to be, but it's like it has to go up. I remember reading somewhere a young black man saying how he turned a certain age and there were different reactions from people, that was really surprising.
I could go into it. My wife is has a PhD in psychiatry and psychology and all that, and she works with major corporations in the diversity and inclusion world. And what happens, everybody's got a genotype, right? So black men in corporations, I'm really going to get in trouble now,
that's all right,
tend to, in their process of trying not to be that big intimidating black man,
got it,
shrink back.
Interesting, because they don't want to fill a stereotype that's there, and you're afraid people will jump. Afraid people will jump to it. So our brains are lazy. That's really what it is. That's what, don't you think? It's like the quick. Okay, that's that. I'll put it in that category. But no, I love that young men need. I mean, I am the mother of two adult young men. They are not black, but I mean, being a young man is hard as it is. And you have the black experience too. No matter what country you're living, different things for different countries.
That's right.
So I love that. That is really good. So I've got to ask questions about this too. These are childhood friends. You're the ones I'm assuming that people know what I'm saying when they're reading my mind as they listen to this. But I'm talking about your friends in My Time to Shine. And tell me their names again.
Glenn Leonard from the Temptations and Joe Blunt from the Drifters. Again, I've known Joe Blunt since we were 7 or 8 years old. His mom and my mom were co-directors of the junior choir at our church, and we were automatically in the choir.
Of course you were. Mandatory.
Mandatory.
And so messing around.
So we kind of learned everything we knew about singing and group singing, that sort of thing, from our mothers. And then along came, about age 15, Glenn Leonard came into the picture. We were all in Washington, D.C., so we worked all in the little clubs around the area and talent shows and things of that nature. Signed to formed a group called True Reflection, was signed to Atlantic Records, but that didn't quite work out. So ultimately, Glenn Leonard became a member of the Temptations, I became a member of the Platters, and Joe Blunt became a member of the Drifters. And what are the odds of that happening?
I love that. And I'm gonna assume that the three of you kind of helped, cheer each other on. Because music is a tough business.
It is. We are each other's support system.
And I got to hear you guys singing together last year in Washington at the American Library Association conference, the book awards.
Yeah, the Indie Book Awards.
Thank you.
That's right.
And you guys still sound good.
Oh man,
yeah.
we pride ourselves on keeping it going and keeping it real. You know, the outfits, the choreography.
You got the dancing.
You got the stuff in there. Yeah, doing it all just to make it. So currently, I sing a group called Voices of Classic Soul, and which is the same concept of Theo Peoples from the Temptations and the Four Tops. He's the only guy in Motown history to sing with both groups. Joe Blunt's there with me with the Drifters, and myself from the Platters. We do all that music. So
that's just good. That music makes you feel good. All generations, people are rediscovering it too. You know that.
I'm so glad. Yeah.
And I was here yesterday to see the fans coming, and where's Joe? When's Joe going to be here? It resonates with people. And it's really interesting and fun and just inspiring to think that some of these fans, their children, are going to be reading these books. Their mom and dad will probably spin the record in the background.
That's right.
And just kind of say who Joe, and what an inspirational thing that you go growing up, dreaming together, different directions is how it happens. I mean, you improvise, you just keep pushing, right?
That's right. I like the way you put dreaming together. That's right. We all have dreams of being in this business and being successful in it, and the odds are limited. I'll tell you,
and being happy for one another. People need to remember, one person's success does not mitigate or lower somebody else's. You diminish it. We're all. How wonderful.
Yeah, and to be able to sing the songs that are pretty much the soundtrack of our lives, across the board, is all the more. So, sing those songs. It reminds you of that first kiss, of the wedding, the wedding dance, all of it. So it's just a great feeling. Great feeling.
What a wonderful gift, and I love how you're using all your gifts to make your, most people it's just their corner of the world, but you've been able to reach a little broader and really make a difference, and I appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to more books. So tell people how we can get a hold of you.
Okay, first of all, my new group, Voices of Classic Soul, is the voicesofclassicsoul.com, jscolementerprises.com. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram.
Yes.
I'm on Twitter.
Okay.
All that good stuff.
Not hard to find.
Not hard to check. Joe Coleman. Look for me.
I'm going to. Thank you so much for listening. This is Heather Dugan. I am at the American Library Association Annual Conference in Chicago talking to the one and only Joe Coleman, author, musician, songwriter. And thank you for listening. Zoom into books.
Okay. Only you. See ya.